News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
District Judge strikes down part of Montana's Constitution. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Thursday, November 20th, 2014. Right now we have 20 degrees in Missoula. The sky is cloudy, and our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dig It Excavating. They're bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. This morning's top story, U.S. District Court Judge Brian Morris issued a ruling yesterday overturning Montana's constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox has been tasked with defending the ban on same-sex marriage. In a recent interview, spokesman John Barnes explains.
The Attorney General, as the state's chief legal officer, is tasked with the responsibility of defending Montana laws when they are challenged in court. And so we will be defending Montana's marriage amendment, and we will be doing so vigorously as we do with every other state law or aspect of the state constitution that we do defend in court.
Barnes says the people of Montana, by popular vote, made their wishes known in 2004 regarding traditional marriage.
The voters made it very clear in 2004. That's what they believe, that marriage is one man and one woman, and we're going to defend the law and defend the will of the voters, and we'll see what happens.
Fox says he would not seek a stay, though, from the court that would block marriages from taking place right away. Judge Morris's decision said the ban violates the U.S. Constitution's guarantee of equal protection provided under the 14th Amendment. In a related story, clerks of court in Montana have already begun issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. One was issued in Missoula yesterday. Butte Silverbow clerk Lori Maloney says marriage licenses that now say bride and groom will need to be revised. She says that can be done by hand until licenses provided by the State Department of Vital Statistics can be changed. The defense in the Marcus Karma trial has presented more motions to Judge Ed McClain to limit certain evidence that can be set before the jury that may prove to be prejudicial. Lead attorney Paul Ryan provides an example of the evidence he wants excluded in his motion in limine.
The discussion about our client's potential toxicology report with regard to his marijuana levels, etc. They're negligible. They're very low potentially, things of that nature that wouldn't have anything to do with the case.
The defense also does not want the jury to see photos of the victim's body at the crime scene, as that also might prove to be prejudicial. In addition, Ryan discussed the state's request for a psychological evaluation for his client.
We're presenting a psychological expert that will come in and describe certain factors and regarding, the psychology of what was going on with our client, etc. And the state then can come in and have their expert review ours essentially and say whether they agree or disagree with it.
Regarding the third change of venue request, Ryan reiterated his assertion that negative media coverage has poisoned the local jury pool, and he approved of Judge Ed McClain's response.
I think the judge handled it very well. He said, we're going to talk to the jurors now, and I think he was concerned about the articles that were written in light of the timing, and again, nothing to do with hiding. This is a judge's ruling that we're going on. We're trying to protect the integrity of the jury to hear what's legally allowed.
A witness who lives in Ecuador has also been ordered to be at trial. The trial is set to begin with jury selection on Monday, December 1st. There has been an arrest in the October 2nd shooting death of a man whose body was found on the lawn in front of a Billings apartment building. Bighorn County Undersheriff Mike Fuss says 28-year-old Jonathan Michael Martinez was arrested at about 3 p.m. Tuesday at his mother's home in Hardin. Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Adam Gaines stood before his fellow troopers yesterday in Missoula and received the highest award possible in his profession, the Medal of Valor, from Montana Attorney General Tim Fox. Gaines was involved in an incident that occurred in St. Regis on June 6th of last year, in which 62-year-old Howard Curtis Martin was shot and killed.
On behalf of a grateful state and its people, and in fact the people of America, and myself as Attorney General in the Department of Justice, I want to give you this award, Trooper Gaines, the Medal of Valor.
Following the award ceremony, Gaines said receiving the award would bring closure to the incident for him and his young family.
I guess in some sense it's the final piece of the puzzle. It's the final piece of closure for the whole incident. We had the coroner's inquest into July. There was a governor's award a couple months back. And to me, it's kind of the final piece can get it all pushed behind me now, and it's all history after this.
Gaines says due to the actions of all law enforcement officers involved, no one else was injured during that incident in St. Regis that night. Glacier National Park is proposing its first fee increases in nearly a decade with the goal of having more money for projects that enhance a visit to the park. The park is proposing to raise its 7-day vehicle entrance fee from $25 to $30 in the summer and from $15 to $20 in the winter. The cost of annual park passes would increase from $35 to $60. Montana Insurance Commissioner Monica Lindeen was elected president of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, a national organization working for states' rights and insurance regulation. Lindeen said the NAIC was specifically mentioned several times in the text of the Affordable Care Act.
The NAIC is mentioned 27 times in that piece of legislation. So once the bill was passed, we've actually had legal responsibilities under the new Affordable Care Act.
Lindeen says one strong recommendation to the Secretary of Health and Human Services came up just a few months ago when it was revealed how the ACA's employer mandate may devastate Montana's Indian tribes.
We had major concerns with the employer mandate for Indian reservations. As we visited with all of our reservations in Montana, it became very obvious that this is a situation that could actually end up bankrupting Indian country.
Lindeen says the answer is to exempt the tribes from the employer mandate all across the country. Yesterday, Montana Secretary of State Linda McCulloch validated the vote totals garnered in the 2014 elections. After seeing the results of a county-by-county audit, she explains.
Counties conducted a post-election audit of the vote counting machines, the voting tabulators, and showed no signs of inaccurate tabulations. Every county is subject to the audit, had to hand count one federal race, one statewide race, and one statewide ballot issue for the precincts that were selected. And then some counties had to hand count a legislative race.
This extra audit is different from the statewide canvass. It is something Montana's only done for a short time.
So the canvass is scheduled for the 25th of November. This post-election audit act was passed in the 2009 legislature. It was kind of a collaborative agreement between the Secretary of State's office, the Montana Association of Clerks and Recorders, and the League of Women Voters.
McCulloch moved up to the due date so the recounts could be done before Christmas. Our News Talk time now is 6:10.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today with a wintry mix expected this afternoon. We'll see a mix of rain, snow, and even a few isolated pockets of freezing rain. Temperatures today will top out in the upper 20s to low 30s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.